Advice to graduates who want to become rich. Hi, I'm Phil Pustiovsky with FreedomMentor.com. I'm a full-time real estate investor, real estate mentor and coach to many of the most successful real estate investors across North America. My YouTube channel has become the most successful in real estate investing history. I'm a best-selling author, and in this video, I want to give you some wisdom if you are a high school, college, master's degree graduate on how to become rich. Because I feel I am qualified to give you this advice. When I first got started, after graduating from Vanderbilt University with a degree in mechanical engineering, I was flat broke. I quit my job and I ended up becoming homeless, living out of my truck. But through the tutelage of a mentor, I became very successful financially. And as you can see behind me, I am on a vacation in the Smoky Mountains, 4,500 feet above sea level. I spent the day fly fishing, and I lived the life of my dreams today. And so what made the difference for me? And I'm going to share that with you, and I'm going to give you some great advice if you really want to be rich. So here's the first thing we need to discuss. If you want to be rich, you have to become a business owner. You have to own your own business. You have to be an entrepreneur. And so here's the interesting thing about that. If you are a high school graduate, but especially college graduate, you have spent the entire bulk of your life in school. And school does not teach you how to be a business owner. Instead, it teaches you how to be a great employee. So here's the problem. You wanting to be rich means that you have to learn an entirely new body of knowledge that up to this point you probably have no idea about. Now, you may be surrounded by business owners, and that would help. So if your friends, family, if you have aunts, uncles, grandparents, if you have had people in your life that have owned businesses, that does make a difference. But there's nothing like you actually getting on the bicycle and riding it. So my first big important piece of advice is you got to start a business. Now, ideally, you start a business that already is profitable, something that you enjoy. That's a piece of advice that graduates often get. Do what you love. Well, I'll tell you this. If you do what you love, you'll probably do a lot of it, and then people will call you a workaholic. Ask me how I know. So if you find out what you love, that is wonderful, but the big question becomes, how do you find that out? Well, it comes through experience. So I would suggest that if you are going into college, try to find a way to have different jobs in different industries. Get a breadth of experience in different worlds, different universes. That will help you gravitate toward one thing or another. So I got a degree in mechanical engineering. I went to work for a Fortune 500 company as a sales engineer. I was completely bored. I was falling asleep at the desk. I wish I would have known that beforehand, right? So there is certain things you can do to help you get a better understanding of what you may love. But I'll say this, most people love the things they're good at. So even if it's a weird industry, let's say you own a junkyard or a garbage collection company. I mean, those kind of things, you may not be passionate about trash, but you may be passionate about something you fully understand. So take stock of yourself. What has been your previous experiences? What are you good at? What do you think you could be good at? That plays a key role, because if you're going to own your own business, you're going to be spending a lot of hours doing it. Now, the business that I've been in primarily has been buying, fixing up, flipping, selling houses, being a not only active real estate investor, but then as I made money, I then began investing in properties. And then, of course, these days I also mentor and coach others, and I share profits with them. So I am a business owner. And one of the great things about being a business owner is that you have complete control over your future. Nobody can fire you, because you have the ability to produce not only the customer base through marketing, but then the sales process and then the fulfillment, and you can build a machine, and that can feed you for a lifetime. And then once you have a successful established business, then you can begin investing that. Now, obviously, I'm in real estate, so I'm going to suggest investing in real estate, but there are also other things you can invest in, whether it be other businesses, things they call stocks or equities, whereby you are becoming a part owner in other people's businesses. So, being a business owner, critical. What business should it be in? Well, again, that goes back to what you love, what your previous experience is, also what the market is and where the opportunity is. You know, it's no fun being in a business you love that makes no money. So you need to be in something that's actually profitable. And so now you're running into these big questions that you may not have answers to. Well, not everybody's rich, so obviously these are things you're gonna have to figure out along your journey. Some other little tidbits of becoming rich. You need to save, save, save. Skimp as much as you can early on, because you need every penny you can to throw back into your business and your ideas, throw back into yourself, investing in yourself, such as taking great courses and getting educated on how to be successful in business, how to take complete control over who you are and make the right decisions. You haven't learned any of this stuff before in almost all cases, and this is brand new to you. So it's like going to school all over again, only in the real world, which brings up this point. You better be humble, because while you were in school all this time, some other people that are already in the business world were busy being in business. And so that means that no matter how good you were in school, no matter how popular you are, none of that matters in the business world. What matters is you producing consistent customers coming to a business that provides a service or a product which customers love, which you build in enough profit, and then you have the right team to service all of that great stuff, and you build a great reputation. And none of that is taught in school, and it doesn't matter how good you are academically. In fact, I would argue those that are the best academically can struggle being a business owner, because so often they outsmart themselves. Which brings up this point. A lot of people ask me, should I go to college, Phil? I'm not your guidance counselor. I'm not the one that needs to be responsible for whether or not you should have gone to college. I will say this, the more education you have, the more mature you can be mentally, the better you think, the more clear you think, because you've exercised your brain. So I have no problems with college. Now I'll say this, the better colleges will give you better jobs. They don't necessarily mean you're going to be a better entrepreneur. There are plenty of successful entrepreneurs that never got past 7th grade at grade school. So it has nothing necessarily to do with what college you go to. But again, if you want to be a great employee, that is one way to wealth. It's not really the way that most people do it, though. I want to point this out. The Millionaire Mind by Thomas J. Stanley. Read that book many times over. That book will give you more wisdom on how people have become millionaires than any other book I've ever read. I think it's absolutely fantastic and mandatory if you want to be rich. So back to being humble. So you're going to get out there in the real world and you're going to have to take a bunch of hits because you're going to make some mistakes. The way to shortcut that is to get a mentor. Now that means that you have to be cool to work with. You have to be somebody wants to work with. So that means that you've got to have the character, the humility. You have to be somebody that a mentor would want to pour their time and energy into to educate you on exactly what needs to be done to take it to a new level and be successful in business. So that is my advice to graduates who want to become successful. And I know you're thinking, well, geez, Phil, I just got done with all this school. I did all this work, and you're basically telling me that if I want to be rich, I need to basically worry about being a business owner, and all I did back in college doesn't mean a darn thing. Well, sorry, that's what it takes to be rich. You know, college doesn't teach you this stuff, and certainly doesn't master's degrees as well. You become an attorney, you become a doctor. Guess what? If you want to be rich as one of those, you've got to own your own practice. You've got to be your own business owner. You've got to be able to hire, find, train great employees. You need to be a great leader. You need to be able to bring in the customers. So no matter which path you think you're taking, there's no shortcut to it. If you want to be successful, you got to have financially successful, you got to own your own business. And then once you own your own business, don't be stupid with your money. Save your money and then invest it. Reinvest it in your own business, reinvest it in buying assets. But that is critical. That's how you get rich, and that's how you do it in a relatively short period of time. Look, this hasn't, I mean, I'm only in my mid-30s here. So I got here in a relatively short period of time. Now I'm living the dream, and I definitely can tell you that this advice will work. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to necessarily be fun. It's not going to be the route that your friends are taking. You may not have as many parties you get to go to, but guess what? When you're my age, you get to go out here, fly fish, you get to hang out in the mountains, you get to live on the beach, you get to do what you want to do. So it's up to you. All right, well, I'm Phil Pustiovsky with FreedomMentor.com. If you have a niece, nephew, somebody that just graduated, send this over to them if you feel like this kind of advice could make a difference in their life. And if you want to learn more about what we're doing, head over to my website, FreedomMentor.com. Watch some more of my videos. Grab my book, How to Be a Real Estate Investor. And I hope that anybody watching this video, if they truly want to be rich, I hope they get there, because you absolutely can. This is not rocket science. The stuff that you learned in school was probably a lot more difficult, but the difference is the way you learn this stuff is in the real world, through the School of Hard Knocks. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video.